If you're here, you're probably wondering if Esprit is still worth your time, and more importantly, your money, in 2024. Maybe you remember shopping at Esprit years ago, or you've heard mixed things about the brand lately, and want to know if it's still got that spark. Well, let's take a deep dive into Esprit's history, its ups and downs, and whether it's worth spending your money on today. Spoiler alert, it's been quite a roller coaster ride. Esprit started off in sunny California in the 70s, founded by Susie and Doug Tompkins. From day one, the brand stood out for its fresh, easygoing style. They weren't aiming to compete with high-end designers. Instead, they focused on stylish but affordable clothing that didn't try too hard to impress. And that's what people loved about it. Esprit quickly became a go-to for people who wanted fashion that looked good but didn't cost a fortune. It was a brand that regular, everyday people could enjoy without feeling like they were trying to be someone they weren't. By the 90s and early 2000s, Esprit had cemented its place as a trusted mid-market brand, especially in Europe and the US. Families, particularly moms and daughters, flocked to Esprit stores because they knew they could walk in, find something stylish and well-made, and not break the bank. Whether it was casual wear, accessories, or even the occasional more formal outfit, Esprit delivered a balance between style and practicality. People loved that they could pick up a few wardrobe staples without feeling like they were skimping on quality. Unfortunately, like many fashion brands, Esprit's good times didn't last forever. The 2008 financial crisis hit hard, and brands like Esprit, which relied on middle-class consumers, started to struggle. At the same time, fast fashion giants like Zara and H&M began to dominate the market, offering cheaper, trendier clothes at a faster pace than ever before. Suddenly, Esprit wasn't the go-to brand it once was. The market was changing, and Esprit couldn't keep up. But it wasn't just external pressures that caused Esprit's fall. The brand itself started to lose its way. One of Esprit's biggest mistakes was its confusing rebranding efforts. Instead of sticking to what had made the brand successful in the first place, affordable, stylish clothing for regular people, Esprit tried to appeal to too many different audiences at once. They started targeting teenagers with trendier, fast fashion-inspired styles, while also trying to appeal to a more upscale luxury market. It was like walking into a store where you could find both flashy neon hoodies and high-end expensive coats. The result? Customers were confused. Longtime fans of the brand didn't know what Esprit stood for anymore. Customer loyalty, which had been one of Esprit's strongest assets, began to fade. People who had been shopping at Esprit for years started to notice that the quality of the clothes wasn't what it used to be. So what exactly happened to Esprit's quality? That's the question a lot of people are asking. Back in the day, Esprit was known for its well-made, reliable clothes. They weren't high fashion, but they were built to last. And you knew you were getting good value for your money. But as the brand tried to reinvent itself, the quality started to suffer. Customers began to notice that the fabrics weren't as durable, the fit wasn't as good, and the overall attention to detail just wasn't there anymore. This decline in quality didn't go unnoticed. If you check out online reviews from the last decade, you'll see plenty of complaints about how Esprit's products just aren't what they used to be. Many customers talk about how they used to love the brand but stopped shopping there after the quality dipped. Others mention that they can't justify the higher prices for clothes that don't hold up the way Esprit's older pieces did. The emotional connection people once had with the brand has been replaced by disappointment. One of Esprit's biggest struggles has been its ongoing identity crisis. Over the years, the brand has tried to appeal to so many different types of customers that it's lost sight of who it really is. Esprit used to have a clear identity. It was the brand for people who wanted stylish, affordable clothes that were a little bit different from what everyone else was wearing. But now, it's hard to say who Esprit is for. Esprit's failed rebranding efforts left customers confused. On the one hand, the brand tried to go after a younger, trendier market with fast fashion-inspired designs. On the other hand, they also tried to position themselves as a more high-end luxury brand. But instead of appealing to both groups, Esprit ended up alienating everyone. Longtime customers didn't recognize the brand anymore, and younger shoppers weren't interested in what Esprit was offering. It's a classic case of trying to be everything to everyone and ending up being nothing to anyone. Fast forward to 2024, and Esprit is still around, but it's not the powerhouse it once was. The brand is now owned by Alteri, a company that specializes in turning around struggling businesses. While Esprit hasn't completely disappeared, it's a shadow of its former self. Many of its stores in Europe have closed, and the company seems to be focusing more on licensing the brand name than creating new products. It's like Esprit is trying to figure out what it wants to be, but it hasn't quite gotten there yet. Despite its struggles, Esprit still offers a range of products, including casual wear, shoes, and accessories. You can still find Esprit items online, and some customers have had positive experiences with their purchases. For example, their women's shoes continue to get decent reviews, with many people praising the comfort and design. But overall, Esprit's offerings feel a bit out of touch with today's fashion landscape. The brand that once knew exactly who it was and what it stood for now feels a little lost. So after all that, is Esprit worth buying in 2024? The answer depends on what you're looking for. If you're a longtime fan of the brand and you're feeling nostalgic, you might still find a few items that remind you of the old Esprit. But don't expect the same quality or style that you fell in love with years ago. Esprit today isn't the same brand it was in the 90s or early 2000s, and that's important to keep in mind if you're thinking about making a purchase. If you're someone who's looking for affordable, stylish clothing, there are probably better options out there. Fast fashion giants like Zara and H&M have dominated this space, offering trendier styles at lower prices. And if you're after higher quality mid-market brands, there are plenty of other options to explore as well. Esprit's identity crisis has made it difficult for the brand to stand out in an increasingly crowded market. That being said, there's always the chance that Esprit could make a comeback. Under Alteri's ownership, the brand might eventually find its way again. And if you're someone who loves a good comeback story, it might be worth keeping an eye on Esprit to see what they do next. After all, fashion is full of surprises, and you never know when a brand might reinvent itself and rise from the ashes. So, what do you think? Have you had any recent experiences with Esprit? Do you think the brand still has a place in today's fashion world, or is it time for Esprit to bow out gracefully? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Esprit, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on your favorite brands. See you in the next video.